TV soap news and spoilers say that in the opulent world of Beyond the Gates, where wealth drips from chandeliers and secrets lurk behind every velvet curtain, a seismic scandal has just erupted, threatening to shatter the fragile alliances of the elite Dumpre family. The news is as explosive as it is devastating. Anita Dumpre, the iron-willed matriarch, has made the audacious decision to halt the trust fund that has long sustained Leslie, the enigmatic and polarizing heiress. This bombshell is set to unleash a storm of chaos, and Leslie, known for her fiery temper and unrelenting ambition, is poised to ignite a war that could consume them all. Buckle up as we delve into this saga of betrayal, privilege, and retribution, where no one escapes unscathed. The trust fund bombshell, a legacy in peril. Leslie, the daughter of the late Barbara Dumpre, has lived a life of unimaginable luxury, her every whim cushioned by the vast fortune bequeathed to her through the trust fund. Established by Barbara, a titan of industry and a woman whose shadow still looms large over the Dumpre dynasty, the fund was meant to secure Leslie's future and cement her status as a rightful heir. With millions at her disposal, Leslie has wielded her wealth like a scepter, commanding attention and deference wherever she goes. Her lavish parties at the sprawling Beyond the Gates estate, with its marble fountains and gilded ballrooms, have become the stuff of legend, each event more extravagant than the last. But beneath the glittering surface, tensions have simmered for years. Anita, Barbara's sister-in-law and the current steward of the Dumpre fortune, has grown increasingly disillusioned with Leslie's behavior. Known for her sharp tongue and ruthless social maneuvering, Leslie has alienated allies and made enemies of those who once stood by her. Her penchant for scandal, whether it's her public feuds with rival heiresses or her questionable business ventures, has tarnished the Dumpre name, a legacy Anita holds dear. Whispers of Leslie's evil nature have long circulated among the family, but Anita's patience has finally reached its breaking point. In a private meeting at the Dumpre mansion, Anita delivered the news that sent shockwaves through the estate: the trust fund, Leslie's financial lifeline, would be terminated. The decision was not made lightly. Anita, a woman of steely resolve who has navigated the family's empire through economic crises and internal strife, cited Leslie's reckless behavior and moral failings as the justification. Leslie has squandered the privilege she was given, Anita declared, her voice trembling with a mix of anger and sorrow. The Dumpre name stands for integrity, and I will not let it be dragged through the mud any longer. The numbers are staggering. The trust fund, valued at over $50 million, provided Leslie with an annual allowance that most could only dream of, $2.5 million, wired directly to her accounts each year. This fortune funded her fleet of luxury cars, her private jet, and her sprawling penthouse in the city. But now, with the funds set to dissolve, Leslie's world is teetering on the edge of collapse. While she still possesses significant personal wealth, the loss of the trust fund's steady stream of income is a blow that will force her to rethink her entire existence. And if there's one thing Leslie is known for, it's her refusal to go down without a fight. Leslie's reign, a queen of chaos. To understand the magnitude of this decision, one must first understand Leslie herself. Born into privilege, Leslie was raised in the shadow of her mother, Barbara, a woman whose charisma and business acumen made her a legend. Barbara's untimely death in a tragic car accident 15 years ago left Leslie as the sole heir to her mother's portion of the Dumpre fortune. At just 22, Leslie inherited not only wealth but also the weight of her mother's legacy. A burden she has carried with a mix of pride and defiance. Leslie's beauty and charm are undeniable. With her piercing green eyes and a wardrobe that could rival royalty, she has always known how to command a room. But beneath the polished exterior lies a woman driven by ambition and, some say, a hunger for power that borders on obsession. Her relationships with the Dumpre family have been fraught, marked by explosive arguments and calculated betrayals. Leslie has never shied away from using her wealth and influence to get what she wants, whether it's a seat at the table in the family's corporate empire or the upper hand in a personal vendetta. Her reputation as evil stems from a series of incidents that have left the family reeling. There was the time she orchestrated a hostile takeover of a rival company, only to sell it off for parts, leaving hundreds jobless. Then there was the infamous gala where she publicly humiliated Anita's daughter, Clara, by leaking compromising photos to the press. These acts, combined with her relentless pursuit of status, have painted Leslie as a villain in the eyes of many. Yet, to her loyal circle of friends and sycophants, she is a misunderstood genius, a woman who refuses to bow to convention. Anita's decision to cut off the trust fund is seen by some as a long overdue reckoning. Leslie has been a storm tearing through this family for years, said an anonymous source close to the Dumpre clan. Anita's had enough, and frankly, so have we all. But others warn that this move could backfire spectacularly. Leslie is not one to accept defeat quietly, and her reaction to this news is expected to be nothing short of cataclysmic. The fallout, a family on the brink. When the news of Anita's decision reaches Leslie, it's safe to say the fallout will be explosive. Picture the scene: Leslie, lounging in her penthouse, sipping a glass of vintage champagne, when her phone buzzes with a message from her financial advisor. The words hit her like a freight train: the trust fund has been terminated. The glass slips from her hand, shattering on the marble floor, as the reality sinks in. For a woman who has built her identity on wealth and power, this is not just a financial blow, it's a personal affront, a declaration of war. Leslie's first instinct will likely be to confront Anita. The two women have a history of fiery clashes, their arguments legendary for their venom and intensity. Leslie, with her sharp wit and unrelenting fury, will storm into the Dumpre mansion, demanding answers. Anita, ever the stoic matriarch, will stand her ground, her decision rooted in principle but laced with the pain of a family fractured. The confrontation will be a spectacle, with accusations flying like daggers and old wounds ripped open for all to see. But Leslie's wrath won't stop at words. Known for her strategic mind, she is likely to retaliate in ways that hit the Dumpre family where it hurts most. Could she launch a legal battle to contest Anita's authority over the trust fund? It's possible. Leslie has a team of high-powered lawyers on speed dial, and she's not above dragging the family through a public courtroom drama. Or perhaps she'll take a more insidious approach, leveraging her connections to undermine Anita's control of the Dumpre empire. There are rumors that Leslie has been quietly amassing shares in the family's flagship company, a move that could give her leverage in a hostile takeover. The ripple effects of this decision will extend far beyond Leslie and Anita. The entire Dumpre family is now on edge, bracing for the fallout. Clara, Anita's daughter and Leslie's longtime rival, is said to be quietly celebrating the decision, though she knows better than to underestimate her cousin's vindictiveness. Meanwhile, other family members, from distant cousins to trusted advisors, are choosing sides, aware that this conflict could reshape the family's power structure for generations. The stakes: a legacy at risk. At its core, this drama is about more than money, it's about legacy, loyalty, and the price of power. The Dumpre family has long been a symbol of wealth and influence, their name synonymous with success. But beneath the surface, cracks have formed, widened by years of jealousy, betrayal, and ambition. Anita's decision to cut off Leslie's trust fund is not just a punishment, it's a desperate attempt to preserve the family's honor in a world that is watching their every move. For Leslie, the loss of the trust fund is a challenge to her very identity. She has spent her life defining herself as Barbara's daughter, the rightful heir to a fortune that was meant to be hers forever. To lose that is to lose a piece of herself, and Leslie is not one to let go easily. Her response will likely be a masterclass in vengeance, a calculated campaign to reclaim what she believes is hers by right. But what does this mean for the future of the Dumpre family? If Leslie succeeds in her retaliation, she could destabilize the empire that Anita has fought so hard to protect. If she fails, she risks becoming a pariah, cast out from the family she has both loved and loathed. Either way, the battle lines have been drawn, and the war that is about to unfold will be one for the ages. The world watches, a scandal for the ages. As news of the trust fund's termination spreads, the world beyond the gates of the Dumpre estate is buzzing with speculation. Tabloids are already splashing headlines across their front pages: Leslie's fortune in jeopardy, and Dumpre dynasty in crisis. Social media is ablaze with opinions, from those who see Leslie as a victim of Anita's cruelty to those who believe she's finally getting what she deserves. The public's fascination with the Dumpre family has never been stronger, and this latest chapter promises to keep them glued to their screens. For Leslie, the spotlight is both a curse and an opportunity. She has always thrived on attention, using her charisma to shape the narrative in her favor. Will she spin this as a tale of betrayal, casting herself as the wronged heiress fighting against a tyrannical family? Or will she embrace her villainous reputation, leaning into the chaos and emerging as a force to be reckoned with? One thing is certain, Leslie will not go quietly. What lies ahead? A storm on the horizon. As we stand on the precipice of this unfolding drama, one question looms large. What will Leslie do next? Will she wage a legal war, draining the family's resources in a battle for control? Will she turn to her allies in the elite circles of Beyond the Gates, rallying them to her cause? Or will she take a darker path, one that could bring the entire Dumpre dynasty to its knees? The answers are yet to come, but one thing is clear: the end of Leslie's trust fund is not the end of her story. It is the beginning of a new chapter, one filled with rage, ambition, and the unrelenting pursuit of power. The gates of the Dumpre estate may be grand, but they cannot contain the storm that is coming. Leslie is ready to fight, and when she does, the world will be watching. In the days and weeks ahead, every move will be scrutinized, every word dissected. The Dumpre family, once a beacon of unity and strength, now stands divided, its future hanging in the balance. Will Anita's gamble pay off, restoring the family's honor? Or will Leslie's wrath prove too much, tearing apart the legacy that Barbara built? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: at Beyond the Gates, nothing is ever as it seems, and the drama is far from over. Our TV channel Soap News and Spoilers is the place for those who want to know how the Salem story goes, as well as great Beyond the Gates updates and news, so subscribe to our channel to get what you want. Bye-bye.